Hey everyone, it's Carl Brown here again, and today we're going to take a look at some basics of hybrid picking. Now, what hybrid picking is basically a combination of using a pick and your fingers in the right hand, and it allows you to do many different things. First of all, when you play chords, it allows you to play, multiple notes at the same time, like as a piano player would. When we're strumming on the guitar, it may sound like everything's played at the same time, but it's actually one after the other since you're just dragging your pick across strings. But for more pianistic sound, for like comping and everything, players use a hybrid picking style where the low note is always picked with the pick, and then the rest of the fingers each individually take care of one of the strings, and the chord is played that. So everything really does sound at the same time, and it gives you a different type of kind of a snappier sound. And it allows you to control and do more things and cross strings better because you can have chords where you basically have to skip strings, like we have this low note and then these top three played with the fingers, and I'm skipping those two middle strings. So it allows me to do stuff like that without having to strum and things that would be impossible to do just with a basic strum of the pick. Okay, so we're going to start today, just in part one here, just from working with holding a pick, the basic pick between the first finger and the thumb, and hybrid picking with the, our finger picking would be with the middle finger. All right, so we're just going to stick with these two today. All right, so we're going to start here in the first exercise with just the two middle strings. Now, when we're coming to pick, just a note for whenever you're doing any finger picking, you want to rely on the big knuckle in the back of the hand. A lot of players try to do it from the middle joint. That's where they're doing the finger pick. It creates a lot of tension in your hand. It doesn't create the greatest sound when you do that because you're snapping the string when you're making your finger go up, and you can't get nearly as fluid or quick. You want to get used to basically making a little fist when you're using. I mean, you can try it with all the fingers together and get the idea of what it feels like. But then you just take that to one finger and you just try to concentrate, make this knuckle feel like it's almost like your hip joint, and then the middle knuckle is your knee. It's going to move, but it's really just a follow through. The power actually comes from here, and that's where you start the motion, and the rest of the finger just kind of follows through. Okay, so let's take this, and you still pick the basic way. We're going to pick this little chord sequence here, little dyads on the two middle strings. We're at the 5th fret. You can get this tablature for this at the website at guitarlessons365.com, so you can follow along. It has the right hand indications with it as well. So the exercise number 1, we're going to 4th fret on the 3rd string with your first finger, then 2nd fret on the 5th fret on the 4th string with your 2nd finger, and we're going to pick the 4th string with a pick, and then the 3rd string with your middle finger. And when you do that, you can kind of exaggerate it at first, like it creates a little fist in your hand when you do it. But you want to get them sounding even. You want to concentrate on the sound. It's the pick is going to be, you're going to be coming off the string, the left-hand side of your finger is what's going to be contacting the string. And if you have a little nail there, you can grow your nails out and really get a good sound off of the nail, just like it's another pick in your hand. So we're going to pick those two notes together, try to get them even, and we're going to do this little chord sequence, which is in the tablature of the sheet music. So I just want you to follow along with that music. The same picking every time. It's just pick and the middle finger. So you're going to need the tablature to follow along. It's just 5 and 4 here on the two. Always stay on the two middle strings. Then 7 and 5. Then 12 and 10. And then 10 and 9. And 9 and 7. And then back to the 5 and 4. Then the 7 and 5. Now 3 and 2. And back to the 5 and 4 to end it. I know I'm flying through this, but just get the sheet music. Now we're going to hybrid pick it individually notes. We're going to pick for just in the 8th notes, the pick, then the finger. Just separate them out. hybrid picking allows you to get much quicker. You can do much faster combinations because you don't have to rely on upstrokes and stuff. You can just, you're going to really get across strings very fast. All right, now we're going to up the ante a little bit here. This is actually going to be a good left-hand workout. We have exercise number 3 here, which is like an octave scale. And the fingering for this in the left hand, you just want to think about, obviously if it's 0, there's no finger. But any note that's in the first fret is going to be played with your first finger, in the second fret, your second finger, third fret, third finger, fourth fret, fourth finger. And here is that octave scale. That alone will develop a lot of left-hand independence. It's a great warm-up exercise. So, but the thing, what we're having to do in hybrid picking now is we're having to change the strings that we're doing it on, which is one thing, and we're also changing the spacing. First of all, we start with a string skip here, the sixth and fourth finger, sixth string and fourth string, the fourth string being plucked with your middle finger and the low note always being plucked with the pick. So that's what we have there. And then right here, we switch to your sixth finger, and then your middle finger went over to the third string. So we're going back and forth between being, 3 strings apart or 4 strings apart. And so you have to be able to change that in your right hand. So that's a little bit more difficult than the one before, when we just, everything was on an adjacent string and stayed on those 2 strings. Now we're changing strings and we're changing the distance between the middle finger and the pick. So I would say just get the chords down first and then start hybrid picking it just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn it into eighth notes. We're going to start with playing them one at a time. All right, so just have fun with this. We're gonna start mixing it up and doing some using 3 fingers and 4 fingers, and just doing all we can with hybrid picking, and doing a little bit more advanced applications. Practice this stuff slow. Get the timing down in the hand, and really you want to aim for the same contact point every time in your picking hand. You don't want to, the middle of the finger, you don't want your hand twisted around. Try to keep your hand still, your wrists straight down into the guitar, your whole arm coming down like a 45-degree angle, and you're just set up over the strings there, and have your fingers right on the strings, or right over the strings, ready to go. And then that's all you need to do. All right, so we're going to do some more advanced applications coming next, so please go to guitarlessons365.com and support the site, and let me know what you think about the hybrid picking, and subscribe and comment, and just support the site and help me out any way you can. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. See you soon.